start recording. Did the little button come
Yep.
up?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Sure. Okay.
This is all new to me.
So we're going to walk through just like the main things to kind of look for on your coach office, because it's really important. If you're a business owner, you got to know the business stuff. So one of the things that Jess had a question about was her Success Club qualification last month. So it's really important to check the FAQ, which is always at the top right for y'all. You can go to support and do the drop down there, but we won't go there right now.
Okay.
So if you click back to the main screen at the bottom, so this is coach.teambeachbody.com, your main coach online office. So on your profile, you'll see what your paid rank is. If your business, the BSF status at the bottom is important. You want to make sure that you're current with that so that your card's right. And then you'll have your projected status as active as long as you have that 50 PV every 5 weeks. But for Success Club, you need to be having 90 PV every 5 weeks. So basically what we had talked about was I pretty much never touch my Shakeology order. I mean, we should be walking the walk. So you should have that on HD monthly subscription every month. Don't mess with the date so that you don't mess with your business. It's just super duper simple then. So if you click Success Club on the left, these tabs are kind of really helpful to just easily walk through where you're at. And so you can see if you've checked off the items that you need for Success Club. So there's a requirement for the subscription PV, which she has 90 PV. Her order is going to go out. It's being processed right now from MBF. So you have to remember, like, if your order processes, the day before or whatever, the online office takes a day or two to update. Same thing with your Success Club points. So like I know Jess sent out a challenge pack today. That's not going to reflect immediately. It doesn't work like that. But if you don't see it within like 3 days, you definitely want to reach out to Coach Relations and say, hey, what's going on here? Especially if you guys are sending share carts to people that had accounts or coaches before. You want to make sure that they have your coach ID listed with their enrollment, because sometimes it can flip back to the old coach. So if you do just the plus sign next to total personal subscription PV, it should break down. So there's 2 things there. There's the home direct PV, which is your personal orders, and then any adjustments. You also can earn PV from customer orders, but the HD subscriptions got to come from your orders. And again, that just goes back to like vital number 1, being proof the products work.
And don't be like me. Like, honestly, make sure that you have checked off the box that you have the home direct, because I cannot stress enough how disappointed you will be if you do not. I maybe had a mini breakdown today. Maybe just a little.
And these are little things, like I was saying to Jess, like volume as you move up to diamond and beyond is really important. And there's different volume qualifications you need for each rank. So it's just important, no matter what, for Success Club, get that 90 PV, be on your Shakeology every month. The other thing is the plus sign next to total Success Club points. If you open that, it'll break down for you where your points come from. So it'll break down the customers and the coaches, and then if there's any adjustments. So like if your customer or coach returns their order within 30 days, you will get negative points off your account. That's like another thing. Rarely has happened to me in the 6 years I've been a coach, and it's just important for you to make sure that they're engaged in the group and plugged into the resources and all that good stuff. Okay, so while we're at it, let's go to volume on the left.
Okay.
Just to kind of see where you're getting, because I know a lot of people ask about this. You don't really need to worry about your right and left leg volume until you're a diamond coach, but you can click team volume at the top. There's the link top right.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm. And this will show you like all the orders going in your pot each week. So each week that you're a coach is listed here. So you can see her total PV is 436 for 7/8. And that's going to be a combination of anything Jess orders and anything her customer orders, not coaches. Again, you don't have to worry too much about volume, but that I just want you to know that that report's there.
And where the LV is there, that's just because I didn't have a coach on my left leg before, and now I do have one on my left leg. So that's where that one's coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So typically each coach is going to have a strong and a weak leg, depending on where you're placed in your coach's organization. But regardless, it's your business. You got to build both legs. Sometimes you have really high volume on one leg. It doesn't really matter until after your diamond, then we'll chat more about volume. But when you click those numbers, you can see exactly who they're from.
Okay.
So I think that's...
do you want me to click one just so that they can see it?
Mm-hmm. And it always takes a second because the website's super fun.
Well, and we're in the middle of a launch right now, so I've realized that it's been pretty slow today. Okay, so there's Jess and then her order, and then okay.
Yep, so you can always go in here and see exactly what they ordered. You can click their coach ID and find their address, their email, all that good stuff whenever you want to send them a note, that sort of thing. So,
and then if I go back, it takes me to the regular page that we were just on, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
What else do you want to go over?
So what were you saying? Because Jess actually was my second coach. So now I've hit Emerald. So how do I make sure that come Thursday I'm going to rank advance?
Good point. Okay, so the most important thing about building your business is switching as you build with coaches or discount coaches. You have to remember to switch your legs every other person. So the way that you do this is go to monitor my business at the top.
Okay.
And you can go down to under downline on the bottom left is preferred placement. Second from the bottom. Yep.
Okay.
So this is where you will control where your coaches go. And right now it's set to automatic, but you actually want to control where that goes. So first we're going to go back to monitor my business.
Okay.
And we're going to go to downline and then sponsorship drill down. Now, before you click that, a lot of people like to go to graphical genealogy or full genealogy, and that's going to confuse the heck out of you.
Yeah, I went there today and I was like,
because it shows every single coach in our entire organization. So it will not make sense to you, and you will see people under you that aren't under you.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes back to, again, as Jess is building her family tree, I'm building my family tree. We're all helping each other. And that's the coolest thing about Beachbody, that we each build with each other. So when each of us is successful, we all help each other out. But you only need to go to sponsorship drill down. That's like your bread and butter.
Okay.
That. And this is going to be your personally sponsored coaches in this downline. And this is really important to check. I would say Sundays and Wednesdays. So we all know that Thursday is payday. So I like to check it really, as you're growing, you want to be checking it every day to see where your people are at. But Sundays kind of gives you a heads up in a few days to kind of go back and forth with people if you see that they're skipping their shipments, or maybe their card was messed up. You never know. You don't want to wait till Wednesday night at 8:00 when you're like, crap, I'm trying to rank advance and this person isn't active, and then you're badgering them. You want to make it from a standpoint of how is your journey going, what's going well for you, that sort of thing. So since you had it on automatic, which is totally cool to start out, you can see you have a coach on your left leg and you have a coach on your right leg. So you are good to go for Emerald on Wednesday, and you have your 90 PV order going in today. So that will update. Again, you'll just double check that Wednesday night. You can just make sure that your volume.
And if I don't see that, I can just contact customer or coach relations and just make sure that whatever is set up just so what happened last month doesn't happen this month.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to have your upline coach or your upline Star Diamond coach just double check your account, because it's hard when you're going through a rank advancement. It's emotionally you're very excited about it, but you want to make sure everything's good. So don't be afraid to reach out to your upline, but also definitely as you go diamond and beyond, you'll get a corporate mentor, and you can definitely use them as well. Be like, hey, can you look at my downline, make sure everything's good.
Okay.
But the main thing that you want to look at here is you can see under their BSF status, both of them are current, so that's good to go, which means they can be an active coach. And to the right of that, their projected status is both active. So they're both active coaches. You have an active coach on your left, an active coach on your right. So Emerald's good to go as long as your volume is good.
Okay.
So now you want to go back to your preferred placement and set it to left or right, so that before your next enrollment goes out, it's already set. And it doesn't really matter which one it goes on. You just want to build it every other.
Okay. So
out.
then that was in monitor and then
preferred
placement. So then that's just basically saying like the next coach that I enroll is going to go to my right leg because Jess went to my left leg.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it doesn't really matter. You're just building evenly as you build to diamond. So yep, on the bottom.
So where it says weak leg, then I would just put
left or right.
Left leg because Jess was my left.
It doesn't really matter, Jess.
Either one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, once you get to diamond and beyond, then we'll do more strategy with that.
Okay.
But you want to get those 12 people on your downline first, and then
okay.
you can talk about some more technical stuff of the business.
Okay. So basically now that I've selected left, after my next coach enrolls on my left leg, then I want to switch that to right leg so that way I can keep going every other left, right.
Yep. And if you forget to do it, which is totally normal, you can always go to the top right and go to the support button and go to, you can click that. Yep. And you can go to forms and documents. And there's a genealogy change form. So that's where that word comes from. Either you can go here. Yep, there it is.
Okay.
And so you can switch them to whatever leg you need them to be, as long as it's within 5 days of them enrolling.
Okay.
So you just have to make sure, again, that's why it's really good to get in the habit of like, put a timer on your phone, Sunday and Wednesday, check my back office at the very least.
Okay.
What else?
I think that's it for right now. As far as checking things, just to make sure that like I hit all the most important things and making sure that, my personal PV is good, because last month I know I ran into that issue where I had thought it was good. And then this month in July, of course, I checked it and it wasn't within the 5 days. So I can't really do anything about it. So I just want to make sure I know the right places where I can be checking things so that way, if something doesn't pop up, I know I can contact somebody and fix it beforehand.
In your Bible is that top right button, the support, and then the FAQ.
Okay.
I literally searched. So like, if we just go to FAQ real quick.
Sure.
This is the more resourceful you, not just you, but anyone on our team can be, and using this and then sharing what they learn is, you will be such an incredible leader if you allow yourself to learn as you go. So like, if you just type in Emerald here for a hot second, as an example, you can go to rank. Yep.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it'll break down. You need at least that 50 PV during the bonus qualification period, which is every 5 weeks. And then you need at least one personally sponsored coach on each side. So where the 90 PV comes in is that Success Club qualification.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can see Ruby is the next rank, so that would require 75. So really the 90, just you're good to go at any rank.
So it kind of just goes up based on each rank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Like just switching locations really quick.
Okay, no worries. But yeah, you can search anything here and figure it out.
I know earlier I had searched ShareCart because I wanted to see if I could get some more information on ShareCart for my new coach. And there were so many resources that popped up. I didn't actually think, I know you're like a big proponent of like, search the FAQs. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to ask here, like makes me feel better. But like, it was instantaneous that I had the answer versus like waiting.
Mm-hmm.
for someone else to answer. Now, the one question for your PV, like for Emerald, it said maintain 50 PV. That has to be a home, like that has to be a monthly subscription PV, correct?
So you see there's a little star next to it.
Yeah.
So for Emerald, it's just during those 5 weeks of bonus qualification period.
Okay.
The HD order comes in with Success Club.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like two separate things. So to qualify for Success Club, it has to be your HD order, but for Emerald, it just has to be 50 PV.
Why don't you type in Success Club and we can just look at that real quick for everybody.
Sure.
And like I was saying to Jess, it just goes back to vital number one. Like you can't ask people to do what you're not doing. Like that's just, in my opinion, kind of unethical. So, yeah, it says there right at the top, coach earns Success Club points by selling challenge packs and home direct orders. Points help coaches qualify for special incentives. There are 2 levels of Success Club, 5 and 10. So you can click that qualify for Success Club. You need that 90 PV or more on HD, which, for example, would be the Shakeology or the Performance Stacks, and earning 5 or 10 Success Club points, which is essentially helping 3 to 5 people with a Challenger completion pack or a home direct order.
And if you're not on HD already, I know there's a way you can go into just your orders and you can convert it to a subscription. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When worst comes to worst, you can always just chat Coach Relations. That's what I like to do, and get it in writing, and then they'll send you something in writing so you know it's good to go.
Okay. That's perfect.
So yeah, it's all here for you, whatever you want to know.
Just learning where to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much. And one of the biggest things too that I found today, I didn't actually know that you could get the national wake up call through your coach office.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had mentioned something about going through Facebook, but I didn't realize that you actually can go to your coach office. And is it in training? Or am
I
I in
haven't
the
done
wrong
this in a
spot?
while, so you would be teaching me.
I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I think maybe I just searched it.
That's the other thing. The top right search button is great.
And I think I just like searched that because I wanted to listen to the Shakeology one just so I could learn more about it. I know why I like to drink Shakeology, but that's not necessarily why somebody else is going to like to drink Shakeology. So just to get more information about it, but then they were all here. And I could click on them and it would like say like view via Facebook or view via like YouTube or something. And you could click whichever one you wanted to view it with, which I thought was really nice. So that way, if you miss it, you can still listen to it. It's not like, oh, I missed it. Oh, I can't listen to it ever again.
Yeah, it's also under podcasts is another way I usually listen to them if I miss them.
Okay. So there is a podcast channel too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
if you just type Beachbody National Wake Up Call, there's an app for Team Beachbody, and so they're all on there, which makes it really easy especially if you're on the go or in the car or whatever.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's when I've been recently listening to mine is in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Never realize the 20 minutes that you have in the car until you start listening to podcasts and you're like, oh, I have time for one more. And then you just listen to them.
What else? Anything else?
I think so. Then so all the tabs, like grow my business is like, this is just the different places that you can go to get different things based on like your needs. So the only 2 places, if you were to tell somebody right now, like where you had to check like each Sunday and each Wednesday, it would be under monitor your business or grow your business.
Monitor my business, because
Okay.
Grow My Business is like challenge group tools and information about new programs coming out, like more kind of corporate stuff, whereas Monitor My Business is more directed at exactly what is happening in your business, what customers are ordering. So you can see under customers and orders, you can see all of your personal orders, all of your customer orders, all the subscription orders. But really, I just live in the sponsorship drill down because that's where you really want to pay attention to your rank. And then as you get beyond diamond, understanding volume is a little bit more high advanced. But so the preferred placement and the sponsorship drill down is where you need to live until you're rocking a solid team of 12 to 16 coaches in your downline.
Okay, so for myself being ranking to Emerald, if I were working towards Ruby, what's my next step? Like, where do I go from here? Because I know some people are going to be like, okay, I'm Emerald, now what?
Yep. So the easiest way to look at the different ranks to me is like a visual thing. Um, a lot of people don't hit Ruby because it's easier for most people to have discount coaches or coaches enrolled themselves. So Ruby is having 2 coaches that are Emerald under you
Okay.
and only 2 discount or regular coaches. Whereas Diamond is 6 of your PS coaches or discount coaches and then 2 Emerald. So a lot of people
Okay.
have an easy time getting their own coaches going and a harder time having actual business coaches in their downline wanting to build a business. So typically you run past Ruby and go right to Diamond. That's why
Okay.
you hear it a lot.
That makes sense.
But when in doubt, Google it and you can see a visual breakdown. It's another great resource.
No, that's awesome. So I think that was just everything that I wanted to run through just through like Coach Office, because I know there's a lot of different things on here. And it's almost hard to figure out what you need to pay attention to and what you can kind of just like slide to the back burner for right now until you get to a certain rank.
Yeah, and in our new coach training, it goes through making sure you set up your direct deposit. That's the other thing I'll point out under compensation, that bottom one, my EFT management, that's electronic funds transfer. So you don't want to get paper checks in the mail. So that's broken down how to do that. And then also Emerald is broken down with knowing your preferred placement. So really making sure you're going through the training that's there for you because it breaks it down and walks you through it.
Awesome.
Because
I know
yeah,
I
you could
got,
spend hours in here and you don't need to do that. You just need, as a new coach, you just need to be sharing on social media consistently and talking to people and inviting.
and like literally sharing on social media, I can't like stress that enough. It's like, it was a game changer for me once I got out of my own head because I realized how many people were actually watching silently. That once they started to see me consistently sharing, then they started to reach out. I didn't even have to reach out to them.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't always happen that way. I know you have to actually send invites, but it was just proof to me that me sharing actually made a difference.
Yeah. I mean, your business doesn't build itself. It doesn't magically appear when you put one post up. And learning these things are important, but at the end of the day, like, you decide what kind of business you want by the action that you take, and sitting on a million team calls doesn't build your business. Taking action does. And so you have to find a balance between, plugging in and taking action. And really, like, as a new coach, 80 to 90% of your time's got to be that action, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
posting, sharing, connecting, inviting, all that good stuff. Cool. I think that's it.
All right. That sounds awesome. All right. So I'm going to stop the record now. Somehow, maybe I can figure out how to do it.
It should be on the bottom.